Welcome back, everyone. We have Questcorp Mining Inc. coming up. Trades on the OTCQB under the symbol QQCMF and on the CSE under the symbol QQQ. And it's engaged in the business of the acquisition and exploration of mineral properties in North America with the objective of locating and developing economic, precious, and base metals properties of merit. Happy to welcome CEO, President, and Director Saf Dhillon. Nice to see you, Saf. Happy to hear your presentation today.
Hi, Anna. Thanks for having us.
All right, the floor is yours. Call me back when you're ready for some questions.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. Hi, again, my name is Saf Dhillon. I'm the president and CEO of Questcorp Mining and also one of the founding directors. We are listed on both the CSE QQQ, OTC QQCMF, as well as on the Frankfurt ticker D910. As Anna mentioned, we are in the business of acquiring, exploring, and developing base and precious metals. We're a fairly new company. We've been around actually only for about 2-3 years. Did our actually IPO in December of 2023. And we came to list with a project on Vancouver Island here in beautiful British Columbia. It's the North Island Copper property. It's at the northern tip of Vancouver Island, and it actually sits in quite now an active area. When we actually acquired the property, we thought it was a nice potential asset that we could hopefully develop, and it's a bit on the smaller side. So we always thought that we might be looking for something bigger, but as it turns out, since we've acquired this project, this area or this region has now actually been developed quite extensively through a couple of our neighbors. And one of our more well-known neighbors has actually made a number of discoveries, polymetallic, on their property. And since that time, North Island Copper is the name of the company. They have actually gone on to grow their asset from basically I think it was about $10-20 million market cap, and I believe they sit somewhere near a $200-300 million market cap currently. That's us in the red. Our property, again, North Island Copper. Plans are we just received a development permit about 2 weeks back, so plans will be to have some work done on the ground with the aim of putting some drill holes into this property. Again, this region, it's well known. If you can see the light green, this is actually the town of Port Hardy. It's the northernmost tip of Vancouver Island. And this green here is actually, excuse me, the site of BHP's former copper mine. At one point, this was actually one of the largest copper mines in all of Canada, and at one point, even all of North America. It was shut down a couple of decades ago, but now with these recent discoveries and development of this asset right next to us, I think at some point that we could see this old mine brought back to life. So again, that's our North Island Copper property. That's what we came to trade on. But earlier this year, the company went and signed a deal with another well-known public company called Riverside Resources. And the project that we signed from Riverside Resources was actually probably one of their more prospective gold projects. That's called the La Union Gold Project. This is something that I think that we were looking for all along. It's a much bigger project, about 11 square kilometers. So we've signed a earn-in where we can earn, Questcorp Mining can earn from Riverside up to 100%. It's a 4-year term, and we've got to pay Riverside $100,000 over the 4 years. That's $25,000 in the first year. It's already been paid, and we have to incur expenditures over the 4 years of 5.5 million Canadian. We're well underway, on time, on budget with the first year's development work. Currently, the project is being drilled as we speak. Again, this property, it's been around for a number of years. Historically, back in the 1950s, there's been actually gold produced from this site 50,000 ounces to be more specific. And the grades were from as low as 7 grams per ton to as high as 20 grams per ton. And I think if you can see the screen, there was even grab samples as high as, the mid 80s grams per ton. So this is our flagship property. This is what we're focused on. And the company actually, in the first quarter of this year, when we signed the deal, we announced a financing of up to 1.5 million. We actually ended up oversubscribing the financing. And let me just quickly show you our chart here. At the time, we had currently 15 million shares issued and outstanding. Then we had a small financing that there was really about 6 of us management insiders. We did a small financing of 350,000. That's where you get the additional 7.5 million shares. But the financing in Q1, Q2 of 2025, it was done at 6 cents. And the reason why we did it at that price and issued so many units is because we want to make sure we had enough of the cash to start development work on both of these projects. But it was also done with, I think, a very strong group. If you take a look at our pie chart, which shows you a breakdown of where the shareholders are distributed, we really have a good chunk, 60% is held by very strong U.S. shareholders that came by way of 2 actual brokers or advisors from the U.S. Primarily 98% of it came from one. They've given us a 3 to 5 year window in terms of developing the company. And we also have, of course, management and Riverside own another 20%, collectively 10 each. And really, there's only about 20% of our issued and outstanding, roughly 75 million shares, is held by retail. And I think this chart right up to about end of July, I think kind of shows you the kind of, confidence that shareholders have in management and the project itself. And we did the financing at 6 cents. Our stock, I believe, is currently trading today at 2021, and that's Canadian. So that's about 14, 15, 16 cents US. Real quickly, just want to show you a map of the La Union project. I think I'm running out of time here. So Anna, anytime if you got any questions, please feel free. But La Union is situated basically in the Sonora Gold Belt, which is one of the most prolific belts within the country of Mexico. Number of very successful mid-tier and majors in this region. A number of well-known successful mines still in operation. We're not far from the San Francisco mine and La Herradera. Excuse me. Real quickly, I just want to show you, of course, myself. My background, I've been in the industry for roughly about 20 years. Got my start actually with a renewable energy company. Helped grow that company from about a $2 million market cap right up to its peak of, I believe it was about 400 to 450 million USD. And until it got taken out by a very large independent power producer off the New York Stock Exchange. Our board is rounded out by 2 other veterans of the industry. Tim Henneberry has been a geologist for roughly 42 years. Scott Davis, of course, very successful accounting practice with him and his partner, CFO of a number of successful junior companies. And one of them actually is even on the NASDAQ. Recently this year, we also attracted the attention of a very successful public company executive, entrepreneur, Paul Larkin. He's been in the industry for 45 years himself, and he came on as an advisor as well as being a strong supporting shareholder. And with that, Anna, if you'd like, I think I can open it up to questions.
All right, Saf, we do have a few questions for you. Starting with Thomas asks, has North Island Copper gone into production?
No, I believe it has not yet.
Okay, and why would they be a good partner?
North Island Copper.
Yes.
Um, I didn't say that they're a partner. North Island Copper is a separate public company. They're developing their asset, and we have a property called North Island. Our property is called NCIP, North Island Copper Property, and North Island Copper and Gold is a public company. NCX is their ticker. They are developing their asset, and we're actually about to start developing our North Island Copper property.
Okay, perfect. I guess the question was more of would they be a good partner?
Yeah, I mean, that's something, those discussions have not even commenced. But I think that what we want to do is we want to focus on really learning what we have on our property. Historically, this project has been drilled, it has had some hits of copper. But I think what we want to do is we want to obviously learn what we've got on our property, what the potential is. Again, like I said, it is a smaller property. I don't think that we would ever be putting or be able to put our property into production. It's, I think, too small, but I think it could be a nice addition to one of our neighbors, and NCX happens to be one of our neighbors.
Perfect. All right. And Carmen asks, what's the return on the investment projected to be on the $100,000 Riverside investment?
Actually, it's actually, sorry, that's not an investment, but what that is the 100,000 is part of the cash payments that we make to Riverside. So again, there's a couple of components. We have to incur 5.5 million Canadian over the 4 years. We have to pay Riverside 100,000 cash or 25,000 CAD per year. And then also they will be issued up to 19.98% of Questcorp's shares. Currently, we've already issued them 9.9%. So I think the way this really works is I think it's very uh, um, it's in both companies' interests for us to succeed. So if we hit on this project and we hit a resource, obviously the valuation of Questcorp is going to increase significantly. Riverside is the operator, so they know the property probably better than anybody else. They've been consolidating this asset surrounding claims for the past I believe, 7.5 years. And there's been about 2.5 million US spent on this property. So it made sense for us to partner up with Riverside, have them stay on as an operator because they've been down there. Riverside, the CEO, President John Mark Stouty, he's actually been in Mexico for about 30 years himself. With Riverside, they've been there for 20 years, and they actually have their base or head office based in Hermosillo. So they were the ideal partner.
Perfect. Well, good staff. I know we have to hop off of this and go into iMetal resources. So thank you for talking a lot about Questcorp, and we're going to see you in just a second with iMetal.
Sure. Thank
All
you.
right, everyone. We'll be right back.